my podcast, Love and Courageous. I'm your host, Demetris, and on today's episode, I'll be speaking about Shannon Sharpe, the NFL player that has been accused of rape. A young woman that goes by the name of Jane Doe said that she was raped and threatened by the retired NFL player Shannon Sharpe during a rocky, consensual relationship. She has filed a civil lawsuit against him seeking $50 million in damages. The lawsuit also accuses Shannon Sharpe of using physical force on her and inflicting emotional distress. In the lawsuit, it lays out a pattern of manipulation, intimidation, and abuse, and also allegations saying that Shannon Sharpe repeatedly threatened to choke and slap Jane Doe. Jane Doe first met Sharpe at a gym back in Los Angeles of 2023 when she was only 20 years old, and they was in a relationship for nearly 2 years. Now, Shannon Sharpe has been accused of raping the woman back in October of 2024 and in January. Since the allegations has came out, Shannon Sharpe has came out and made a statement on X, used to be known as Twitter, saying the relationship was consensual and calling the lawsuit, I quote, blatant and cynical attempt to shake down Sharpe for millions of dollars. It is filled with lies, distortions, and misrepresentations, and it will not succeed. Now, Shannon Sharpe is also facing allegations such as being verbally abusive, controlling, and violent over time, and once threatening to kill her and recording their sexual encounters without her consent. Now, in the lawsuit, it says Shannon Sharpe flew into fits of anger when plaintiff noted his infidelity to their relationship or called him out about his extraneous activities. Shannon Sharpe even figured out how to get into Jane Doe's apartment complex without her permission. Now, allegedly, there is a video recording out there showing one of the sexual encounters that Jane Doe had with Shannon Sharpe. The footage has been reportedly offered for viewing to Sharpe, who has refused to watch it despite multiple opportunities. Now, according to attorney Tony Busby, who is representing Jane Doe, said the video demonstrates a lack of consent and is central to the civil claims being pursued. He said the video was reviewed in a confidential mediation setting by Sharpe's legal team, but Sharpe himself declined repeated invitations to view it. He emphasized that the footage will not be released publicly, citing both legal and ethical considerations. He continued by saying the only reason the public knows about this video is because Shannon Sharpe brought it up on Instagram. At no point have we ever threatened to release it, and we will not. It is evidence, nothing more, nothing less. Now, Shannon Sharpe has described the video as a 30-second clip that is designed to make him look guilty, asserting that it was taken out of context and crafted to play into damaging racial and sexual stereotypes. Now, legal analysts have taken note of Shannon Sharpe's refusal to personally review the video, describing it as a potentially risky decision in a civil case where perception and credibility can significantly impact the outcome. Although he has no legal obligation to view the video, his refusal may be viewed unfavorably by a jury. It may suggest a avoidance or unwillingness to confront evidence that could challenge his narrative. Now, Shannon Sharpe's legal team has not publicly elaborated on his refusal. However, individuals familiar with the defense suggest that Sharpe believes the clip is misleading and was deliberately recorded to distort the nature of the relationship. But Shannon has denied all the allegations and characterized the relationship as consensual. He also argued that the interactions described in the lawsuit were part of a mutual BDSM dynamic involving roleplay and fantasy scenarios. Now, with all this coming out, Shannon Sharpe's legal team blasted out sexually explicit messages between Shannon Sharpe and the woman that is accusing him of rape. Now, according to Shannon Sharpe's legal team, there are 44 pages of text messages between Shannon Sharpe and Jane Doe that has been released. And Shannon Sharpe's lawyer, whose name is Lenny J. Davis, said that Shannon Sharpe and the accuser had consensual sex until January the 2nd of this year, the day after she allegedly asked for $25,000 per cheek. In a text message that said, I quote, "I know you missed this big juicy ass, $25K for each cheek." Now, before this text message, Shannon Sharpe allegedly wished her a happy new year and said if she sent him $50,000, she could come over to his house. And Jane Doe lawyer hit back and claimed that all the purported messages took place before the alleged assault. But there are other text messages that have been sent between Shannon Sharpe and Jane Doe. One that has took place on March the 5th back in 2023, Jane Doe allegedly texted Shannon Sharpe a photo of a woman tied up in a compromising position and wrote, "Tie me up like this and F me." And Shannon Sharpe replied, "If I knew how to, I would." And then she allegedly texted back and said, "It's okay, I have handcuffs. We can stick to those for now." Now, there has been other dates where the two has allegedly been sending text messages to each other. Another day is January the 31st of last year in 2024, when the accuser allegedly wrote, "That just got my pussy wet. Tie me up and do bad things to me." Then Shannon Sharpe replied and said, "Cuff up." And she allegedly wrote back, "You still have my handcuffs. I want like some hardcore BDSM action though, and feeling kind of freaky lately." And on March the 14th, allegedly she wrote, "I want to be abused daddy." And on a different day, on October the 9th, she texted saying, "I want you to put a dog collar around my neck and choke me with it while you're effing me." Now, in the 44 pages of text messages between the two, allegedly there has been where she has talked about having a baby with Shannon Sharpe, including writing, I quote, "Only if you put that baby gravy in me, then you can do whatever you want to me. I literally ate so much food, I look like I'm pregnant with your big black baby." And Shannon Sharpe responded and said, "If I still F with you around my B-day," which is birthday, and 24, you can IUD out. Now, Shannon Sharpe also wrote on February the 29th of last year, 2024, that the woman's desire for the baby is a kink for her, which led the accuser to allegedly reply, "You're the one has a breeding kink, and I mean, I only want a baby if it's from your, I think I'd be a good mom." She also allegedly wrote, "Always wanted a black baby." As time flew by, the two seemed to be having some issues. Back in September 2024, when Shannon Sharpe was heard apparently having sex on Instagram Live, according to the lawsuit. In the alleged text messages on December the 26th of 2024, she demanded a formal apology and continued to ask for one before Shannon Sharpe replied back and said, "I've already apologized. Stop playing childish games." Now, Shannon Sharpe's lawyer has made a statement and said, I quote, "Evidence paints a clear picture. This was a consensual adult relationship that included role-playing, sexual language, and fantasy scenarios initiated by the plaintiff." But however, Jane Doe's lawyer has made a statement and said that the text messages were a mere distraction by Shannon Sharpe's legal team. He said in the statement, I quote, "Every text that Mr. Sharpe's counsel released today purportedly from Jane Doe are dated prior to the alleged brutal assault set forth in Jane Doe's case. Those texts were obviously released in an effort to distract the public's attention from the allegations in Jane Doe's lawsuit. It won't work." Since these allegations has came out, Shannon Sharpe has decided to step away temporarily from his ESPN duties while he deals with what he called a false allegation. He made a statement that said that he will return to ESPN at the start of the NFL preseason, the preseason game that is set for July 31st. He said, I quote, I'll be devoting this time to my family and responding and dealing with these false and disruptive allegations set against me. I sincerely appreciate the overwhelming and ongoing support I have received from my family, fans, friends, and colleagues. So with all that being said, honestly, this is what I have to say about it. One, why is Shannon Sharpe going around messing with young girls? Like, dude, you're in your 50s. Like, you need to be hanging around people in your age group. And that's what Monique was telling him. She literally told him, like, you need to stop messing with these young girls. And he was just hee-hee-ha-haing at what she was saying. But no, she was being serious about it. And now look where he at. Because she also made a joke at one of her comedy shows. She made a joke about, the whole situation, what he's going through. And a lot of people didn't like it. But I mean, she told them. Like, she literally told him, you cannot be messing around with these young girls. Because first of all, you already know these young girls only gonna want money from you. I mean, I'm not trying to be funny. Dude, you in your 50s. Ain't no 20-year-old gonna want you. Unless you got money. And he knows that. So it's like, okay, if you know these girls only want you for your money, why would you set your own self up and mess with these young girls? Like, okay, allegedly, in the text messages, she was asking for $20K. So if these text messages are real, sweetheart, she was showing you right there. And then on top of that, it just made me cringe when allegedly she texted talking about some big black baby. I ain't trying to be funny. That would sound like something a white woman would say. But however, I'm not quite sure these text messages are real or not. But at the end of the day, sweetheart, if she really asked for $20K, she was letting you know right there. So why are you messing with her? That don't even make logic sense. I guess he just thought to himself like, well, he getting what he want in the end too, so it don't really matter. Oh no, it does matter because now you're being sued. This is what happens when you mess with people that only want you for money. And not only that, I don't know if anybody listened to the audio where she recorded her talking on the phone with him. She set him up. She recorded the conversation they had, and she was like, bro, stop trying to manipulate me. And in the audio, he threatened to choke her. I was like, oh my goodness. I said, boy, oh, he got set up. I'm like, okay, did anybody not learn from Jonathan Majors? Like, for real. Because Jonathan Majors, his ex recorded him. She privately recorded him. That boy didn't even know he was being recorded. I said, oh my goodness, they be getting these boys out here. I'm just like, Shannon, now you another one. Yo behind, you mean to tell me you didn't think she was gonna record you? She already knew what she was gonna do. She was gonna file a lawsuit against him. I said, okay, you know what? It's not funny, but he was laughing when Monique was telling him. He was laughing, but he ain't laughing now. Because I said, look at you. I'm like, I bet you won't mess with another one. Stop messing with these 20-year-olds, man. Like, come on. You in your 50s. Why are you still trying to be young? You're older. Mess with somebody around your age. Stop going out there lusting all the dang on time. But he gonna learn though. I ain't trying to be funny. We gonna see how this play out. Cause Jonathan Majors definitely didn't win. I'm like, he lost a lot. And so look, Shannon Sharpe better have the best lawyer. Cause this girl is coming for everything. I'm like, oh my goodness. Boy, you about to be losing opportunities. You better stop messing with these young girls out here. But look, that's what happens when I feel like sometimes some of these celebrities out here, I think they let that money get to their head. Like, they can do whatever they want. And they feel like, oh my goodness, I got all this money. I'm on top of the world. Like, it's almost like some of them are willing to risk it all. And ain't no way in the world I'm about to risk it all. If I know I'm worth millions of dollars, I'm not messing with no dang on 20-year-old. I'm not doing no mess like that. And not only that, but the girl is the OnlyFans model. Shannon needs to be smacked. Why are you messing with OnlyFans girls, bro? She's OnlyFans. What did you expect? These girls on OnlyFans, I mean, you could do anything on OnlyFans, but literally, like, some of these girls be doing sexual stuff. And not only that, but if they can meet a celebrity and you know, get their name out there and get some money, they gonna do that. Why would you mess with an OnlyFans girl, man? She don't have nothing. I mean, I'm pretty sure, you know, she got, you know, a little bit of money. She ain't got as much as him, but she making money. Because some of those OnlyFans models and people on there, they be worth millions of dollars. But still, like, she's not up your alley. I would not mess with no dang on OnlyFans model. That don't even make logic sense to me. But that's all that I have to say. And now I'm going to get into the Black History Fact. The Black History Fact today will be about Sarah Boone, the inventor of the iron board. Sarah Boone was born as Sarah Marshall near the town of New Bern in Craven County, North Carolina in 1832. She was the daughter of enslaved parents, and she earned her freedom at one point. Sources say that it came with her 1847 marriage to James Boone, a free black man. The couple went on to have 8 kids. Utilizing a network tied to the Underground Railroad, Sarah Boone migrated with her husband and kids and widow mother to New Haven, Connecticut prior to the Civil War. The family settled into a black neighborhood near Dixwell Avenue, where she worked as a dressmaker and her husband as a bricklayer until his death in the mid-1870s. Now, even though her husband passed away, Sarah Boone was still successful enough to own her own home. Hailing from an area where it was illegal to teach black people to read and write, Sarah Boone finally took steps to overcome that disadvantage in her late 40s. Possibly through her membership at the Dixwell Congregational Church. Now, when it comes to inventing her iron board, she faced a lot of competition. She had to find a way for her dresses to catch the eye of customers. By the early 1890s, she hit on something that was tailor-made for the corsets that were popular during that time. To that point, dressmakers were primarily ironing their clothes on a wooden plank placed across 2 chairs, a method that was fine for a wide skirt but ill-suited for the contours of tight-fitted material. Sarah Boone's solution was to create a narrower curved board that would slip into sleeves and allow for a garment to be shifted without getting wrinkled. Her creation was padded to eliminate the impressions produced by a wooden board and collapsible for easy storage. Demonstrating the writing skills that she had acquired only a few years earlier, Sarah Boone applied for a patent for her new and improved iron board in 1891. She was awarded the U.S. patent on April the 26th of 1892, making her one of the first black women to earn that formal distinction for inventors. She passed away of Bright disease on October the 29th in 1904 and was buried along with her mother and husband in New Haven's Evergreen Cemetery. That is all for today. Thank you everyone for listening to my podcast, and I hope y'all have a lovely day.